Hey, it's Raegan Thorp here with the Raegan Thorp Real Estate Group, and buying your home can be really exciting, but let's be real, it can be very overwhelming as well. From saving from a down payment to finding the perfect neighborhood, there is a lot to do from A to Z. So don't worry, I've got you covered. We've got a simple step-by-step guide to help you through the process and navigate with confidence. If you're thinking about buying a home, the first thing to look at is your finances. You want to make sure that all the numbers are in place before you start scrolling and looking at houses. Take a moment to look at your finances and make sure that your credit score is 620 or higher to get the best mortgage rate. Save for your down payment, closing costs, and a little extra for moving expenses or emergencies. And set aside a realistic budget for your monthly mortgage payment, including taxes, insurance, and HOA fees in case you choose a community with an HOA. You're also going to want to make sure that you pay down your debt where you can to make a big difference when lenders look at your debt to income ratio. The next step is focusing on finding an amazing agent, a true professional that can be your secret weapon. They're going to listen to your budget, your goals, communicate clearly, and negotiate on your behalf. I love negotiating for my clients. Working with a true professional like myself means having an expert guide you every step of the way, from the beginning of your first search and first look at houses all the way through inspection and closing day. The next step is getting pre-approved for a mortgage, and I can definitely connect you with the best lender for your situation. A pre-approval is going to show a seller that you are serious and ready to buy. It also gives you a clear idea of what you can afford. We want to be looking at the houses that you can afford and actually will fit into your budget. I actually insist that my buyers have a pre-approval so that when we start looking at homes, they can actually make offers. I would never want you to look at homes that you either can't afford or can't put an offer on. These pre-approval letters in hand are so important in this competitive market. The next step is to start house hunting. Let's start looking at homes. This is the fun part. Make a list of your must-haves, all the things that you would want, from bedrooms to backyard to two-car garage, all the things that you would like to have and must have. Even things like a sunroom or an office, all the things that need to be on that list, we need to go over those together. And then I will search in the multiple listing service to make sure that we find the houses that are right for you. You can attend open houses and we can search together. Whatever works for your schedule to find the perfect home. It's also good to keep an open mind because sometimes we need to look at homes where you can add your personal touch, make changes or renovations to. The next step is making an offer. Did you find the one? Is it time to put in an offer? I will walk you through every step of the way because I know this can be exciting and nerve-wracking. So the first thing I'm going to do is analyze the comparable homes that have already sold to make sure that the price we're offering is a fair price. We're also going to look at the price we're offering, closing costs, repairs, and the closing date. All of these things need to line up for you and the seller. Okay, after your offer's been accepted, we're gonna start doing home inspections. And this can be a little bit tricky because you're in love with the home and now you're gonna find out everything that is wrong with it. But we're gonna have multiple inspections is my strategy. We're gonna have a roof inspection, we're gonna have plumbing looked at, electrical, HVAC, a general home inspection, as well as pest and termite inspection. All of these things are gonna be looked at so that we can negotiate with the seller to make sure that these things are negotiated as far as getting them repaired ahead of time or giving you closing costs so that you can monitor the repairs after closing. So the next step is locking in your loan. Once we get through due diligence and your inspections, we know we're moving on to closing and we need to lock in that mortgage rate. And that is something your lender will help you with to make sure that it's done at the right time to save you the most amount of money by getting an interest rate that you are happy with. The lender is also going to be asking you for final documentation as we get towards closing. So we're getting close to closing and getting those keys and celebrating. You're almost there. Your lender is going to be sending you some closing disclosures so that you can review the final numbers just before we get to closing. You're going to make sure the costs are accurate and the terms that you agreed upon are valid. Then we're going to do our final walkthrough of the property to make sure everything looks the same as it did when you made the offer. We want to make sure there's no damage and everything is good to go. We want you feeling good on closing day. On closing day, you're gonna sign your paperwork, pay your closing costs, and get your keys. What an exciting day. It's all been worth it. Now, I just have a few tips for first-time home buyers, okay? Make sure that you guys don't do these things or do these things. First is, don't open new credit accounts before closing. A few of my clients have bought a refrigerator a couple days before closing, and that can really mess things up. So don't do that until the day after closing. The other thing is to ask your lender about first-time buyer programs, assistance, and grants. And finally, keep all of your home buying documents in an organized place so that you know where to look for everything. Buying your first home doesn't have to be stressful or scary. I am right here every step of the way, your trusted real estate professional. I want you to love your home and enjoy it for years to come. So please let me help you through the process. Raegan Thorp, Raegan Thorp Real Estate Group.